before I get to your current film, I wanted to ask you about a character I love, Clementine.
Oh,
in
yeah.
Eternal Sunshine of
Everyone,
the Spotless
he's nodding.
Mind.
Everyone loves that woman.
Yeah, but she was so great, and it was coming out of, I mean, it sort of came out, wow.
Yeah, it came out of nowhere.
Yeah, right.
I know, and I remember when Michel Gondry asked me to play that part, and again, I didn't need to audition. That moment seemed to have passed in my life, and I kept thinking, is he? I mean, I feel I can do this, but he's, God, he's really, he must really believe in me, or he's seen something. I remember saying to him, what is it that you've seen in me that you think that, what is it that you've seen that you think I can do this? Because at that point I had done a lot of period films.
A lot,
and was desperate to kind of break out of that a bit.
Coming to the current world.
Yeah, but I think he had seen Holy Smoke, actually, the Jane Campion film. And I think he'd seen a whole other side to me there. And I just, people say, what are your turning point movies? And they often expect me to say Titanic, but actually I think it really was that one. Because I think it did kind of, studio executives would come up to me and they'd say, who knew? And I think, thanks. I think, am I grateful? What's the response I'm supposed to have to this? But it was so much fun. My God, I loved that character. I loved her because so much of it, I just made stuff up. I mean, once I was in the Clementine zone, I could just do whatever I wanted.
It's great.
And
well,
it
a great
was
script by
fantastic.
Charlie Kaufman, an Oscar-winning script actually by Charlie Kaufman.
Yeah, wonderful
And you were
screenplay.
nominated too. So.
I was,
yeah.
Which was exextraordinary because the film came out very early in the year.
Yeah, I know.
And I remember thinking, oh God, I'd kind of, I remember thinking, God, I've got, how's that happened? It was, that was unbelievable.
So now you have two. The Mountain Between Us, I'm a big fan of. That movie I thought is an old-fashioned entertainment, and I showed it in my screening series, and they loved it. Actually, it was their favorite film because I have them vote for it.
Oh, wow.
For the one that I showed. And
terrific. Great.
You and Idris Elba together, but that looked like a physical nightmare to shoot.
I have to tell you, I like extremes, so I couldn't wait to get up that mountain. I mean, it was 10,000 feet at our highest, about 10,500 feet. And our sort of lower altitude was about 8,500. But can you imagine going up to work every day in a helicopter? I just treated it like a wildlife tour. I'd go, moose, mountain goats. I'd be like the wildlife spotter. Idris not so keen on the cold, not so keen on the helicopters.
Yeah, it looked like it was...
It was very cold, but I really loved it. And we had a great time working in Vancouver, actually, because we loved it so much. We're going to nip back in a short while for just a quick vacation because we just loved it. And we're literally going back to the same house that we stayed in when I was filming. Really going back. I mean, we truly, my husband and myself and our little one was there for the whole thing, and the older two came for part of it as well, and we just had a terrific time. I mean, working in Canada was spectacular. Great people, most incredible crew I've ever come across. But it was, it was a tough shoot. Physically, it was very demanding, and I felt that I needed to be physically very ready for that. It was, just the two of us, Idris and I. We had to really stick together and really, make sure that we were making sense with every word that we spoke, because we had to ask an audience to watch just the two of us for, 100 minutes. I mean, it's.
Oh yeah, it totally worked. It's a great love story. It's a great, the dog was great. You were great.
Lovely dog.
It was fun. The dog was wonderful. I had to see it before my wife, so she won't watch anything where I said, that dog's going to die, I bet. And he didn't.
And he didn't.
We
don't eat the dog. The dog survives. It just kept saying we should just eat the dog. I mean, he was serious. He was like, why don't they eat the dog? I don't get it. Why don't they eat the dog? I was like, we cannot eat the animal. And no, we are not doing it.
Enter Carolina.
Excuse me, do you know if Jenny's here?
I'm Jenny.
I'm Humpty's daughter. Here's wife.
Is he gonna be surprised?
I'm marked. They're gonna kill me.
That's what you get when you marry a gangster. I gotta have a drink.
No, Humpty, you've been good.
Damn it!
Miss, you can't be out here right now. We're expecting lightning storms.
When you're married to a man who got rich putting people's feet in cement, you probably never had to do a dish.
Your wife don't like to go fishing anymore, Humpty.
She made like she liked it. To get me on the hook, I was the fish.
And now Woody Allen. You're finally working with Woody Allen and wonderful Wonder Wheel, Coney Island, the 50s. This is a great screen role, too. He loves writing big emotional roles for women over and over. He's just a great writer of women. Would you agree with that?
I can't, I mean, first of all, it's such a pleasure to be able to sit and talk to somebody about a great screenwriter and to talk about Woody Allen's screenwriting of female characters, because I don't think anyone touches him. I mean, when I first read the script, terrified and sort of riveted to the spot on the staircase at home, and I didn't move for the 2 hours that it took me to read it. It was so powerful and so overwhelming, and these words, this dialogue. I mean, I just don't know where he comes up with it. It's extraordinary. It's witty. It's nuanced. It's real. It's painful to read. It flows, and there's a rhythm. There's a rhythm to Woody's writing, because he's a musician, you know. So he would, and when we were on set, if a scene was going on for too long, he would stand up and he would go, "Oh no, we gotta cut this. This is too long. Did I write that? Did I write? Were you still talking?" I'd go, "Yes. There's a whole other 2.5 pages, Woody." "Oh no, 2.5. No, we gotta go to lunch. I gotta fix this. Oh, this is awful," he would say. And I'd have a whole heart attack, and then he would just slash the whole scene in half, and I would have a full heart attack. Anyway, but he, no, he was, it was an absolutely unbelievable part. And when I had finished reading the script for the first time, you know, my husband sort of waiting with bated breath, and he kept looking out the door going, "Have you finished?" I'm going, "No, I haven't finished yet." "Okay, well, hurry up." I'm going, "Okay, hang on." Got to the end, he's like, "Have you finished now?" I'm like, "I've finished." And he said, "Well," and I said, "Well, it's completely brilliant." And I absolutely can't do it. So please don't look at me, because I can't do it, and I'm not going to do it. And he looks at me and he says, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And I said, "I can't play this part. It is too difficult, and the moment is just going to, you know, pass." And he's like, shut up, you are absolutely doing this." And my daughter's like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
"Mum, get over yourself. Of course you're doing it." I thought, oh my God, okay, dig deep, got to find the stuff. And I think I was really just frightened that I would screw it up. I mean, I think I was very scared that I just might not be able to do this. And it was going to be a lot. I knew that it was going to be an emotionally very heightened experience. And I said to my husband, you know, I said, "I just need to warn you that what I'm about to do, you have not been through that with me yet. You haven't been through the white knuckle ride of we'll be together, and we're, you know, you'll come and we're doing, you know, we'll all go and I'll do this film, but emotionally I will be extremely absent." And I was actually. I mean, I was just. It was so all-encompassing, the experience. I mean, just the sheer volume of dialogue alone.
Yeah, and the monologues and everything else,
which were wonderful. And I just remember thinking, you know what? I don't want to panic when I get there, so I'm just going to be very, very ready. And I really learned, I'd say, 2/3 of the script, the entire script, before I got there. I just thought, you know, I'm just going to treat it like a play, and I'm just going to learn as much as I possibly can. And I just wanted to make myself feel quite bulletproof, because I didn't know what to expect of Woody either.
Right.
I didn't know, you know, I didn't know what he was going to be like with the actors. I didn't know if the stories about him not wanting to rehearse would be true or not. I just had no idea. I just thought, well, I'll just deal with it, whatever it is. And I could sense very quickly from Woody that he didn't want to have to really deal particularly with actors and all their sort of stuff.
Right.
You know, us actors, we do have questions, and, you know, we want guidance, and sometimes we want someone to kind of hold our hand and show us, you know, where to go from A to B, and, you know, all that kind of stuff. And I'm not really like that. I do tend to just like to quite get on with it. And I think I wanted Woody to know that about me quite quickly. I wanted him to realise, oh, I'm not going to have to worry about her too much. So I can just, because then I thought, if I can get him to that place, then he'll direct me. Then he won't worry about saying to me, "Didn't like that, try this," or, "Hey, what about this idea?" or, "Do you have an idea yourself?"
Right.
And so for the first week, I actually deliberately didn't talk to him. I just thought, I'll just leave him. I'll just show up. I'll just be on. I'll just do it. I'll give him Ginny. And if he hates it, he'll tell me. Yeah. And he didn't say too much for the first few days. And then at the beginning of the second week, I really did have a question. And I asked him, and he said, and he was great. He kind of realized, oh, okay, yeah, we can just have normal conversations, and she's not going to kind of need things from me. and got into a flow. But yeah, it was. I mean, there was one week when I had about 32 pages of dialogue in 5 days, and 14, 15 pages of that was on one day and all one shot.
Oh.
So I developed this very strange thing, almost like a mini heart condition. It was very weird. So I'd wake up in the night and go, okay, it's happening. I've got that breathing thing. Okay, I've got that breathing thing. Okay, I have to go. And I would have these like heart racing moments of just adrenaline. I was just constantly sort of on, and it was sort of amazing, really, in a way. And being on that set, and being with Woody, and being with Vittorio Storaro.
I was going to say, beautifully
being with
shot.
Vittorio and
all
Jim
those
Belushi.
colors
I mean,
of Coney Island on your face on some of those scenes.
Oh my goodness me! I mean, it was like a sort of a masterclass that I didn't even know existed. And if I had known, I would have bought the tickets 25 years ago. I mean, it was just spectacular and very simple, you know. Yeah. We would shoot things in very, very simple ways. Right. So there's the classic sort of Woody Allen walk and talk, and we did one of them, but it was only about a page and sort of 5/8 of dialogue. Complicated scenes with lots of people in, but they would just have a couple of Steadicam guys who would go, just move gently. Sometimes they might follow me into the bedroom. Sometimes they might see what Ginny's doing, where she's hidden the bottle of alcohol under the sink. Sometimes just the action itself was very complicated, coming in through the door, dump the bag down the groceries, change out of my uniform, put some other clothes on, start cooking, light a cigarette, take a sip of whiskey whilst all talking. And, it was a lot, but it was really exhilarating beyond belief.
You can tell on screen, too. It just pops. It's great. Well, thank you so much for coming in here, and best of luck with Wonder Wheel coming out.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kate Winslet.
Thank you for having me, Pete.